Hey YouTube, welcome to Tuesday night hang time with PhatPastor and the Prop Bros. Let me get Jarvis pulled up here. Alright, make sure I got the chat popped out. I see Skydozer and everyone, but YouTube don't have it popped out, so I'm going to pop it out again. Give me just 1 second. There we go. Pop out to a chat. There we go. Let's see how that works now. Always got to test Jarvis before we get started. See if he's working. All right.
Hello.
Looks like it's all working. We're going to switch over here right now. For just now, it's just me and
Skydozer FPV. I am just very sad about all the federal government job firings. Can you tell I am sad about it? I smile when I am sad.
You smile when you're sad. Skydozer says he's just very sad about all the federal government job firings. Can you tell I'm sad about it? He says he smiles when he's sad. Let me look at some of the earlier McFly, Skydozer, Johnny Scars, Atreides. And that looks like the early people right now.
Share the link.
Share the link, guys. Share the link. Well, tonight we're waiting on. Z King said he would probably be a little late tonight. So. What is this?
I'm going to share it right now.
There we go. All right, here we go. All right, we are good.
SOKY multi-rotor. Hey guys.
I've got my Soki account open on my phone. Just checking it. That's me. All right. I hope everybody is doing well. Like I said a minute ago, we're waiting on Z King. Atreides, do we have your voice coming in good and clear? Just going to make sure.
Can you hear me good and clear?
Yeah, he's looking good.
Making sure you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Okay. We'll see what people do. All right. So tonight we're just gonna there's some.
Hey Soki.
Yeah, that's me. That's just I just have my phone on that account. So.
Yes.
So I say, hey back. Excuse me.
Hey back.
All right. Well, tonight I don't know that we've got lots of conspiracies or anything like that to talk about, but we do got some races.
8-bit underscore FPV. Scourge.
Some stuff.
Oh, hey.
I got some stuff that, like, right as soon as we got done talking about it, I found they posted a clip that was pretty wild on Casper site. So I've got a couple videos to share myself.
Okay. All right, good. We'll get those going here. We can start with that if you want to. Tonight, later, if Z King makes it on, I think he was getting off work. We're gonna take this is the.
Why is they?
This is the UDL or the UWL. This is set with UWL settings that Skip built for me from Fly 33, and so we'll actually do switching that over to Igniter tonight if Z King gets on, so we can talk you through that. Let's see.
Why are they?
Why are they what? Why are all of the federal positions getting fired that you were talking about earlier? I don't know. I have to keep up with chat. I don't do a good job with that. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny. You know, that he's just, why are they green?
Green.
I don't know why are they green? I don't know. I don't know what green is.
Sorry, wrong chat.
Oh,
Sorry, wrong chat.
Okay. I was going to say,
No,
we don't look green.
I was kind of puzzled too.
Yeah. Skydozer's like running 3 live streams right now, probably. So, yeah. All right, guys. So, yeah, we can get right into showing some videos, talking about what you guys want to talk about. I've got something I want to talk about with DJI 04 and see if anybody else has run into the issue. And but all of that can wait. We'll go ahead.
Well, we could talk about DJI 04 first in case Zach gets here. I want to show him. He can see these videos too.
All right. Well, see, it was actually Zach that sent me a link to, I think it was Mo FPVs, 2.5 inch DJI 04 2.5 inch build. And when I was watching it, see, one of the things that I experienced, and I thought it was the Neo, because that's the only thing that I'm able to fly DJI right now. And I noticed on Mo's video that, you know, at times the video would look like it was that would stutter just a little bit, like it would miss a frame and then kind of catch up, especially in the roll axis, like it was like pop, not smooth. And
Mo's video was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good video. I agree with that. But I know, and it's very subtle. But I noticed it, and I asked Skip to look at it as someone who flies DJI a lot more frequently than I have. I probably have less than a dozen flights.
Philiblaster. Still in a very important meeting.
Yes, Philiblaster may join us too. All right, man. Yeah, maybe you can fill us in on some stuff with that. Or maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, I fly pretty much exclusively HDzero, and have for a couple of years. I only own a couple of analog 8-bit, celebrating being a member for a long time. Thank you, brother, for your membership there. So I don't fly analog. I'm pretty much exclusively, I would say, for probably the past 2 years, that I've probably not flown more than, besides the DJI that I'm flying here recently, more than 2. It says 18 months that 8-bit has been a member of the channel. Thank you for your membership and your support, 8-bit. So I'm used to either breakup or low latency and smooth. And I started noticing on the Neo, especially when I was flying fast and low and trying to do faster moves in manual mode. It just seemed like the video would just stutter just a little bit, like it dropped a frame. and like the old action cameras, the old cheap action cameras would do sometimes. So I asked, and I noticed it during Mo's video. Once he starts flying in the back, and actually got with Skip because Skip was flying um, DJI more frequently than I am, and I said,
I don't fly analog now either. Least till I get a module or goggles sorted. Mine are not working right. Can't even record DVR now, ugh.
right, yeah, don't fly analog anymore. 8-bit doesn't either. But so we actually got the same video, pulled it up, and Skip was like, I noticed it a little bit. It's not very obvious to me, so I thought, well, maybe it was my television. So I put it up on my iPad Pro, and I was still noticing it there. So it's not a Hertz issue on the screen, because of course I'm using the O3 goggles with the Neo, and I was seeing that, and I was asking him, is this something that a DJI pilot just...
It's insane.
Thank you, brother, for the $5.05 super chat. Thank you for the little bit of coin. I appreciate it, man. Everything helps.
You know what it almost looks like?
What's that?
It almost looks like, have you ever watched a video, or you've had props in view, and it go like this through the prop,
Mm-hmm.
and you see, well, every time you looked at the grass, it was like a super fast blink, like
Mm-hmm.
super fast,
Mhm.
which I I don't know if that's frames or what it is, but I've only really noticed it in the grass, you know?
Yeah, I noticed it in the snow. He's got a little patch of snow in front of his front yard, in front of his mailbox. And when he was going over his house, and he would point the nose of the drone down and roll with it. I mean, I could just see it. It was just like where HDzero, that's buttery smooth, and you just see it roll, and just to makes that turn. And this would, and I'm over exaggerating this here, but to me it would be like it would go click, 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 and you would catch it instead of just being smooth, and it's turn.
But it was still super fast, though.
Yes, yes, barely noticeable, but it is something that I notice. And I was like, is this just me? And Cliffhanger FPV, welcome to the channel, man. I see it periodically on my
Cliffhanger FPV. I see it periodically on my O3 unit.
Yeah,
It's almost like a slight stutter.
it is.
Same with O3.
Right, and where I first noticed it was Walk Snail. I tried Walk Snail out when it come out with the module thing on it, and did you guys just get a commercial? I thought I had that set to... YouTube's probably changing it up on me now. Sorry about that. I can't change it now, so I'll try to. I've got my phone running right here, so if I see a commercial pop up, I'll repeat the stuff that I said. Cliffhanger says he's seen it periodically on his O3 Air units, almost like a slight stutter. I saw it clearly when I first noticed it. Yeah, that's what it... Oh, I have, but not on this account. Not on this account. That's why I saw it, because this is on the Soki account. But Walk Snail is where I saw it. I got the Mobula 8 with HDzero and Walk Snail, and got one of them sent. One of them was sent to me for free, and I was going to do the review, and was asked very politely not to release that review yet, because Walk Snail was making some changes and wanted me to redo it after they made some updates. And I noticed it in Walk Snail bad when I would get to where HDzero was starting to break up. Walk Snail would start to stutter and get very blurry. And
Well, see, I've noticed something totally different with Walk Snail.
now this
Like
was the
it would
first
like
though. This was the first firmware thing though. So I don't know if they fixed it or what. But go ahead.
right. Well, with Walk Snail, what I noticed was when you looked at the grass, it would like mush and pixelate.
hmm My driveway
Then it
looked like it had an oil slick on the top of it when it like it was moving.
and
Walk
it was
Snail has
always the
lost me.
grass or the ground. I don't know why. When I looked at the sky, I'd never seen it. When I was doing the obstacles and stuff like that, I'd never seen it. But as soon as I looked at the grass, I even pointed down at the grass to look even more, and it would just like pixelate across it.
hmm Yeah, yeah. That was the first thing that I noticed on Walk Snail was I have a paved driveway and it looked like my driveway had like an oil slick on the top of it, and it was just or like how snow will blow around on the top of the road right before it sticks. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And then when I got down to where HDzero was, I flew the same path with them, and where HDzero would start, I'd start seeing sparkles. It started getting low bit rate and getting very stuttery, and I see that in the '04. So yeah, Walk Snail. Uh, Skydozer said Walk Snail has lost me. Yeah, they lost me a while back. Um, I sold, I believe I sold it to someone here on the channel. I don't remember who. Someone bought the the Mobula, and I think Z King might have bought the module from me. I don't remember. Somebody else did, but yeah, it wasn't for me. I do like the DJI better because it. Now, let me preface it. That's subtle. To me, I notice it. I notice it quite a bit in my flights and quite a bit on Mo's video. I saw some of it on Iric Grippa Boy's channel last night on some of the stuff. Um, I don't know if it's inherent to DJI or what, but it's just, because I was asking Skip, am I crazy or what? And he's like, no, you're not crazy. I see something. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
So, if
We also noted some. We also know something with the O4 Lite is with some of the units that I don't know if it was the flight controller messing with it or what, but whenever we had some of the units, we've tested a lot. I say over 50 right now we've tested, and I'd say about 3 or 4 of them out of 50 would lose video at full throttle.
mm,
And
brown,
I've yet to discovered if that was due to the actual flight controller not providing enough power for the DJI unit
now was this the
or
light
what.
unit?
Yeah, this is the light unit.
Is it on 1S or
9 volt.
on a
The
through a
and
nine
it's the
volt
only
regulator? I think you locked up on us, Skip. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear us. You have froze up on us. I'm going to go to the other screen while he works on that, so it doesn't. I've got him right over here on the other monitor. Skip, if you can hear me, you are completely froze, brother. Let me make sure that that's not on my end and I'm not dropping frames. Stream health. Excellent. 0 drop frames. Okay. All right. So now back to our program. While we're waiting on Skip to get his Discord fixed, if you would smash that like button for me, and if you haven't subscribed,
Johnny Scars. You're good on my end.
All right.
Only Skip froze.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
Okay, he is back. He is back.
For some reason, my computer sometimes decides it just wants to shut off. And I don't know if my settings are wrong on it or what. I've messed with performance and everything. I don't understand what's going on with it. It just shut off on me. So
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Yeah. What were you? You was in the middle of saying you. I think you said you've tested 40 something units, close to 50 units,
Yeah.
and three of them, and it's the O3.
Yeah.
Oh no, we were at 9 volt.
Now, this is the O4 Lite, and it's on 9 volt on the flight controller on the TBS Lucid flight controller. And yeah, and it works perfectly fine. Everything works great. As soon as you can punch and stuff, but if you do a long full throttle, it will just black out.
Might be going to sleep
And
because you're not touching it.
luckily, we had GPS on those, and we were able to throw it into GPS and return it. So we didn't, crash it or anything. But that is a concern when it comes to losing complete video and not getting it back.
Also, it like completely browned out,
Yeah.
and and was that you wasn't running a separate voltage regulator? You were just running what was on the flight controller, correct? Running
Right.
9 volt.
It would be the 9 volt back, but it was the only thing running on the 9 volt back. So,
Right.
seeing that, I have to do some more investigation on far as blaming it on either the flight controller or the air unit, but uh, and we're not getting enough voltage, or it's something's happening. That only thing I can uh, theorize is that the 9 volt back is not actually, the 9 volt voltage regulator is not actually uh, sustaining enough power for the O3 Lite.
Yeah, and all three of the ones that failed had the same flight controller, same back on them.
Yeah, same flight controller.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's talking about out of at least 45.
Yeah. Cliffhanger says your computer might be going to
That
sleep
would be
because you're not
interesting seeing the final
touching it.
results of your testing, Skip.
And he also says that it would be interesting to see the final results of your testing. You might have to move your mouse every now and then to keep it awake.
Yeah, I think I was currently moving it. I think maybe it did an update or tried doing so. I don't know what it done, but it happens every once in a while. I ain't figured it out yet.
The eyeball back there was watching us. So yeah, it would be interesting to see the final results of what you guys come out with that. I'm sure with it being units that you guys had to get out the door, it was probably just a case of like, well, pull it off, put it on a different flight controller, and did that fix it? Was you, or in that category, did you just take the air units off because you didn't know whether it was air units or flight controllers?
We have not tried to diagnose the problem at this time. It's still early. It's something that we just started testing today. A good number of units, so it's still an early thing. And but no, I say we can pull the flight controller out and put a new one in and see if that fixes it. But yeah, Armando thinks it might have something to do with capacitance. That you might be able to fix it with a capacitor, like if the 9 volt regulator is being
So it's like it's dipping.
compromised during it.
Yeah.
You can put a small capacitor on it, and the capacitor, kind of take care of the voltage drop.
So you talking about putting the capacitor on your battery lead or on the power leads going from the air unit?
It'd be from the power leads going from the air unit. It'd be
Okay.
directly off it.
Okay.
Which we've done that before on drones before. Like we'll have a long range drone. It's always nice to take a long range drone and put a 5 volt capacitor, small capacitor, on the flight controller itself.
Yeah. Yeah. That I would be also interested to see the results of that
Yeah.
testing also.
Yeah, and that just might be something that starts being a regular thing. Running DJI is doing, solutions like that, and to put like a small capacitor on your flight controller, and because it's not a bad thing, to actually put a small capacitor on your flight controller.
Right. I remember back. I didn't fly them, but I remember back in the day. Didn't they recommend that you put a capacitor on your DJI air units?
Well, I don't know if you necessarily have to put it on the air unit itself, but on the flight controller, it has a lot of stuff it's regulating at the same time. So, you know, there is a possibility that the flight controller, is struggling to do a full throttle pull and also regulate the power to the receiver and then regulate the power to the the air unit all at the same time. But and GPS.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 3 different components that you're powering off the flight controller,
Right.
and I'd say even if you added LEDs, it'd probably make it even more. But we we just also had just the small 35-volt capacitor with the what's it called, the UF, what's that called, um, I think it was like 400 microfarads, that's what it's called, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it was like 400 and something microfarads, so it wasn't really a really big capacitor that's on it already,
Mm-hmm.
because you know how race drones are, they're all compact and everything, so you want small capacitors and try to make everything work like that.
Right.
Did you know the French racers, they don't even believe in using capacitors at all, which I thought was very surprising.
Really.
Yeah, that what they say, it's better to not have a capacitor rather than to damage one and have weird stuff happening to your drone, which I can kind of see that.
Yeah. Uh,
We
what
had
French drones are you talking? Pilots are you talking about?
actually Killian when he came in from France to race in IO last year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what he talked about, was that most of those guys don't run capacitors on the drones. That the actual chips are themselves are pretty good at doing capacitance. Now, I would have to say I wouldn't recommend that. Like on a long range drone, I put, one on the lead, one on the flight controller, one on uh, the ESC, so I have like 3 different ones on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you're always running big mall batteries on long range, and you're wanting to really reduce as much. noise that you possibly can, and or fluctuation of noise. So what, from what I understand, correct me if you think this is wrong, but your battery sends pulses of electricity,
Mm-hmm.
and your capacitor is what cleans that up. And that the pulse of electricity is what causes resonance in the drone, which is what makes your drone signal act funny. And that's why sometimes you see on analog units, you see the lines go through the camera with the motors spooling up.
I don't know. I don't
You
know
got
how
a
that.
commercial that just came up, so I'll just wait through the commercial. It's got a little skip button there
You know.
for those people that skipped it. I don't know how that works, but
Well,
anyways,
yeah. There's a setting that you can set inside your. I normally set them inside my all of my streams to insert the commercials manually, but evidently,
well, I think we're on a delay anyway, so we would have to be predicting the future whether to actually get off the commercial. So
yeah,
I think it doesn't matter what we do on this side.
yeah, maybe
But
so.
no, I recommend running a capacitor and actually run the big one if you got like a freestyle or long range drone, and that's going to help your see, drones are really, I don't know, you've done airplanes, right?
Oh
You've
yeah.
flown, yeah. So you know on an airplane that you can put a FPV unit and just go forever
Mm-hmm.
and it just not mess it up.
Yeah.
But on a drone, you got so many components on it, and you're revving so many RPMs that
Mm-hmm.
it distorts your video signal.
Yeah. Yeah. I've experienced that. Now, a lot of my flying years ago, it was nitro. So that was like uh, the main way we flew. But a lot of these that are hanging here, they're all um, battery powered, the lipos. But yeah,
Well, now that I can talk about it because Bardwell's video is out, uh, I am confident to say that we're probably going to see DJI at races now, and because you can sit right next to them and not have to worry about anything. Uh, if any, like in my opinion, if I believe HDzero and analog is actually will interfere with each other more than DJI will on race mode, but that's only on race mode.
yeah,
But we had what we done was we had a drone sitting on the line, and then we turned DJI on, and it was sitting in the middle, and we had HDzero on one side, analog on the other side, and we're all sitting next to each other with the goggles with DJI in the middle, analog on this side, HDzero on this side. I had the analog goggles on myself, and normally when you turn on DJI on with analog goggles on, you see black lines do this, and they horizontally go across the screen, and it's very distracting. And then you could fly away from it and it get better, but as soon as you came across each other again, you would just black out, which uh, which we seen happen quite a bit. but now it does not do that. You might see a minute amount of line at distance, but as far as not being able to run it or race it, I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely looks good. And I went back and I watched the video that Skip's Bardwell's video that Skip's talking about, and um, I didn't notice the skipping from Evans' quad. So, I mean,
Well, I'm starting to think the only time that you're going to get the that effect is if you're maxing out all the settings. Like, what will it run? Does it run 60 or 120 at 4K?
I think it's 60. Well, I know the Neo is 60, 1080 60 or 4K 30.
Here, let me look it up. I
But
think the Pro will do 120 at 4K. Okay, so the DJI 04, 15 kilometers. It does 4K at 60 FPS and 4K at 120 FPS.
that's the Pro. That's not the Lite, right?
So yeah, that's the Pro. The Lite does 4K at 60 FPS and the Pro does 120 FPS. So that I think that's what we're seeing. I think we're seeing people go into 4K and we're seeing frames uh, in certain places, which you shouldn't be able to. I don't think you should be able to.
Yeah, I don't think you should either.
Which, I mean, it could also be like he's on a channel that's interfering with his Wi-Fi or something like that, and it's causing him to drop uh, like uh, like frames and stuff. Because I've flown like our shop at 533 is one of the worst places for video signal and GPS signal. Like if we do GPS tests, we have to leave the shop and go somewhere else.
Hmm.
Raymond
So
Correa. Gentlemen.
yeah, if you have it on certain channels, like I think it's 3 or whatever,
Hmm.
the 3 is a real bad channel for most Wi-Fi and everything else.
A lot of noise.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so if you have it on the wrong channel, you could possibly be seeing those flashes and frames drop for sure.
Yeah, that's
That's why we always like to use channel 8. Channel 8 and channel 1 is usually our go-to.
how's it going, Raymond? Yeah, I remember. I know that it was Mondo that was telling me that in the race band there's more noise on R3 and R4 than there is others just in general. And I've
Well,
noticed
I
that
used to
on my RF Explorer, even with analog. When people's analog tend to crap out, it'll throw noise up around R3 or R4.
Yeah, I used to try to get R3 because I had more.
Yeah, I think we pretty much run R1, R2, R7, and 8.
And we thought people were plugging in the pits, and they brought a analyzer out and showed that it was actually the Wi-Fi transmitting on R3. So I would say if you are at a race and they are streaming it or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or if you got buildings next to you,
Z King
then you might
FPV.
want to stay away from
Hello
O3,
all.
in my opinion.
Hey, Z. Z King is at least where he can talk to us. So, welcome to the
How's
stream.
it going, Zach? Nice to see you on the stream.
One way or the other, right?
Well, now would be a good time to show those videos if you want to, or
All right.
unless you want to keep talking about DJI, it's up to you.
No, I'm.
Oh, I did see one thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
The range test.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you heard of Drain Man? Did you see Drain Man's video on the range test?
I know Drain Man, but I don't think I've seen his video.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what
I
he
did.
did,
He did between
Just
the
got
O3
home.
goggles, right? Between the O3
so
and the N. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
So what he
It's
did
insane.
is he flew around his neighborhood on the road and stayed low, and which you know the lower you are, the worse the video gets. So I think it was a really good legit test, and he said he would he would tell like, hey, this is where normally my O3 on the Integra and the DJI 2 goggles, this is normally where it would drop out at.
Mm-hmm. I
And
remember that.
he said he went twice as far on the N3 and more than twice as far on the goggles 3.
Yeah, I know that.
So
Yeah, the
the
N3
N3,
didn't get as far as the O3.
right, but the N3 still outperformed almost twice as far as the regular O3 unit and the goggles 2 in his test.
Right.
And then I seen another range test, and this guy was flying behind like a tennis gate, and it didn't really give me any information. I don't think that other one gave me much information as far as he said that the metal of the gate blocks the signal like a Faraday cage or something.
I guess it could. Thank you, McFlies, for the $5 super chat. It says DJI is the devil, Bobby.
Well,
The King just got on.
before O4 came out, I would say that we don't have to worry about them. But now we have to worry about them being at our races and freestyling also. So it's a thing now,
Yeah.
especially for racers. If you just do freestyle, I mean, you can go out with buddies but most freestylers have DJI from what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, well, just the thing is, I'm sitting here thinking about, well, my phone just showed another John Brown commercial. How often are they showing them?
It's probably every 10 or 15 minutes or something like that.
You know, it's telling me it's got a counter here, so saying in 3 minutes.
I got a video pulled up here,
Not me.
or I had a video pulled up.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah, see, I'm
record
just
that.
noticing it because I'm not on mine. I have premium myself, but is it? I don't think it's always been this way. I'm sure I've said it to not. Well, I go back and watch them, but I watch with premium. I don't know. Let me know, guys, if commercials are popping up on you guys a lot, because it's not supposed to be. There's a setting inside of, and when you're setting up your
Now
YouTube, where you say you pick when
let
you
me
want
ask
the
you
ads
something,
to come in.
Pastor.
Yeah.
What do you think about the goggles 3 on how it fits on your face?
I like it.
You do.
I do. I like it. Of course,
Mo,
I've got a big head, and
I've seen most people have negative thoughts on how it fits
yeah, I think.
because they're getting light leak and
See, I don't get any light leak. Um, they work fine for me now. I think. Um,
I have not seen any commercials yet.
all right, good. Uh, I think the rubber um, around the face, probably during the summertime, will probably get hot. So that, I might try to redo that with some foam or something later. But yeah, I like it. I mean, it sets up on top of your head, and it's not, doesn't sit on the bridge of your nose. Um, I don't like the fact that you know the battery is only going to last you so long, and then you've got to plug a USB up to it to keep flying. So I don't.
Between the goggles 2 and the goggles 3, I actually prefer my goggles 2 more.
Yeah. Cliffhanger said between the goggles 2 and the goggle 3, he actually prefers his goggle 2s more. I only have the goggles 3, so that's all that I can speak for. But
good.
but before that, I wasn't able to see anything that looked even remotely decent out of DJI. So
Larger screen and more comfort, and yes, of course, less light leak.
yeah,
All right, so we do know that we had the government come out and say that the UAPs, or I mean, not the UAPs, the whole New Jersey drone thing was research drones and civilian drones that were checking out the research drones, and it gained a lot of attention. So even more drones checked out those drones.
and supposedly the
Pretty much,
FAA knew about it the whole time, right?
yeah. But it does not explain some of the things that people are seeing, and people like oh, what's his name? Elizondo, is that his
You're
name?
right about the battery with goggles 2. The
Lou
battery can be
Elizondo.
changed when low, and with the 3 you are stuck. What a dead
People
battery.
like him have came out and said that what they're showing you is not or what they're telling you is still not the whole truth.
Yeah, I don't I don't buy it that everything people were seeing was just. But who knows? You're right about the battery with the goggles. 2 can be changed when low. With the goggles 3, you're stuck with the. Well, I know Madstech's got a video of a mod, but you know I don't want to have to do that to a brand new set of goggles. All right. Okay. All right. Do you want to go ahead and show your videos and stuff that you were talking about, Skip?
Yeah, yeah. I'm fixing to pull it up right here. I'm trying to find this guy's name that's been talking about it. I'm terrible with names. I just have to go ahead and tell you I'm terrible with names. Jeremy Corbell is that's who it was. Jeremy Corbell, which he was in one of the hearings.
Okay.
He was saying that what they came out with is not everything, and he was saying that it's kind of disingenuous because we've already came out in Congress and said that there's stuff out there, and that they needed to actually come out with everything instead of holding back, and he was kind of disappointed. So this runs on to this video that I'm going to share with you, and we're going to show some of the things that they're talking about on this video. So, of course, we got balls of light,
Okay.
and people are seeing this right here, stuff like this, and this is still going on in New Jersey, from what I understand.
That looks like the sun.
Yeah, it almost looks like the sun in the clouds. And of course, I get a commercial also. But it's getting smaller, and now it's
Moon.
moving.
Now that looks like an airplane. Yeah,
Yeah, that does look like an airplane, doesn't it?
it does. And I wonder if it was, the one that was just hit by the helicopter when it was coming straight toward the camera, it just looked like a ball of light, too.
But what they're saying is, what this guy is saying, that these objects are morphing into drones and morphing into airplanes, and we actually get one of these right here. This is the best example of what they're talking about. Now it looks like it has some type of fireworks or something that happens. I mean, that looks like a drone or something like that, like a VTOL. You see the tops over here spinning. Is that a VTOL? That looks like a VTOL, does it not?
Yeah, it could be, and it just could be shiny motors or
Well,
some
now
type
that I
of
relook at this, it
reflective.
looks like a VTOL.
It looks like a VTOL coming in for a landing,
Yeah, it does.
especially because it kind of tipped. Yeah.
That's interesting. I
The,
didn't realize that
yeah,
at first when I first watched
what
that
was that company that had one that was like, yeah, see, I think he's
because
flying along there like an airplane. Yeah, and I think that
yeah,
it goes into the from transitioning from an airplane to right here.
that's a VTOL.
That's a VTOL.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yep. And it's got some
Because
types of
look, you can see the top of it moving right there.
yeah, reflective stickers or
Bagzilla.
something.
Pastor.
Hey, Bags. How's it
Well,
going,
there's
brother?
one debunked right there, but it gets better. Believe me, it gets better. So this right here, this is what I cannot explain.
Oh yeah, that's old. That's very old footage.
That do you see
Yeah, the crop
the
circles.
crop circles
Atrates.
Uh, if
happening?
if I'm not mistaken, years ago someone said that was CG altered. That was made with
Oh, really?
CGI.
That is
This is
CG?
old. This
Yeah,
is
it's really
old.
old.
Yeah, CGI. Yeah.
Who
There's
else we got over there?
But here's the one I was talking about.
just the
Look
two
at
of us
this
tonight.
thing.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
Now I'm just gonna.
What is this?
Well, I'll say this. This is something that I don't talk too much about on the channel. Um, I think there's times that we can catch the spirit world, the other dimension, on camera, and I have seen that. I've seen lots of instances of that, and um, I've seen stuff, video that look
Orb.
very similar to that. Orb. Uh, Actually, I have quite a bit of experience with that, and
Lens flare. Looks like an angel.
yeah,
I think it's more than a lens flare.
yeah, it's too
Cliff.
many, too many array of colors there.
It looks amazing. If I saw
Yeah,
that, I would definitely. I mean, it looks almost too good to be true, but I mean, but if I saw that and that was real, my mind would be blown. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Or a blue beam could be some form of projection or something.
Right.
But I think we can all of us can say, uh, that's not a drone. That's not any kind of LEDs that we have. Uh, so I don't get the reptilian. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
The whole
I guess
faces.
I guess it could look like a face, a mouth, and
Yeah, but you
big
can make
eyes
faces
out of.
anything. You can
Yep.
look at a brick
A
wall and see
small water
Yeah.
faces.
droplet on the lens when the
All
light is
right, we'll move
reflecting
on to the
on.
next
It
one
will
here.
create a false prism.
Yeah. A small drop of
This
water can
is one
create a
of
prism.
the whole orb transforms into a drone thing. Hey, how's it going, Bagzilla? Nice to see you in the chat there.
Who knows?
And now it's strobing like normal colors, but it's so jittery, and you're moving around so much. I mean, this could be in fog, and then they come out of the fog. I don't know. It's too much,
Yeah.
jittering around
Yeah. Not
type
clear
deal to
enough.
me.
It's.
That's an airplane.
Yeah. Or a helicopter.
Those are interesting, moving around like that really fast. I don't know race drones that can do that.
That one I'm totally clueless on.
They were saying that was over all the fires. Uh, After all the fires, they started seeing some stuff. Here, we'll go on to the next one here. So here you got a helicopter chasing an orb or something. This is the helicopter on the left. But is it chasing a drone or what?
That could just be a big spotlight. It almost looks like there's directionality to the light there for a minute. Is it two helicopters? They shouldn't be flying that close together, though.
Right.
But we know from here recently that the military, I've seen it, that a flight path is right over my house. They'll fly like the Blue Angels in formation right over my house.
Now here's another one. Right there. Look at that. That's too fast for a satellite.
Yeah.
And then it's come back. It comes
Oh,
back. Moves.
no. It's like a cat chasing a laser now.
Right. And I don't know if that's smart to do that. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no, it's not smart to stick a
I don't think I
laser
want
beam
to
up
be
in the sky because
shooting lasers at UAPs.
if it was a manned aircraft and then the next thing you know it crashes in a city, then
Well, if
you'll
I
feel
see something
horrible
in the
about it.
sky moving that freaking fast, I'm definitely not going to be pointing lasers at it.
Hmm.
Because what if it decides to come down to you?
It's right, like
You
yeah,
know?
you're getting an anal probe tonight, you know. So no, obviously something out there that was
Pointing lasers at
yeah, and just
But this is on Casper Sight's channel,
hey,
and
is that Philoblaster joining us? There he
here we
is.
got another one. Now this one's an airplane.
Yeah, clearly.
This is 100% an airplane. That's the same exact thing
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
caught
Landing lights
on
on
my
either side.
field.
Yeah, either side of the fuselage.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
100% an airplane.
yeah. Yeah. How did your meeting go, Phil?
Pretty good.
Now
All
here's
right.
one of those weird orbs or whatever that we've been talking about.
Messed with that lady's top lip pretty bad, didn't it?
Calm down, Pastor.
Hurt. Botox.
Of course, I say she's saying that she caught that or whatever. Here's another one.
Ha ha ha.
This one's interesting. It looks like a swarm in the sky.
In the daylight.
Yeah.
I was going to say lots of white balloons, but they look almost oval shaped.
Yeah, somebody just got married and released balloons.
That one's interesting to me.
Yeah, it's a little oval shaped. Maybe they released oval balloons.
It might have been just the lens.
Well, when balloons get far enough up in the atmosphere, they do morph into different shapes. But they'd have to be pretty big to see them that far away.
Now, what would be great in this is when he pans down. Oh, no,
Well,
that's not a balloon.
Yeah, balloons don't move
Well,
like
Gulfstream.
Yeah.
Gulfstream.
What would be great in this is when it pans down, you have Sasquatch standing beside a tree and then back up. That'd make that one better. Phil, you lost an arm. Oval shape, no lights, no chemtrails. This guy here, I've watched a couple of his videos. He gets bent out of shape real quick.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys seen
Well, I mean,
that? Is this
reaction videos?
Now-
So you got to throw a little bit of enthusiasm in it.
yeah? Now, if this is down near the border, I have seen several videos where the Border Patrol are putting up high altitude blimps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to watch the border.
Now, what this guy says, this is Jeremy Corbett, and I want to actually play this. I want people to hear this because I think it's interesting. So I'm going to play the volume on this.
All right.
2027. Now, take a little look at this video. Is this the start of something?
I'll shoot some
trust,
Double
how
A.
they explain
PhatPastor
the
cool.
nature of that threat. But that 100 fucking percent is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People been whispering a date for a long time. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you need. You're going to be told that there's a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today over the year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. That's the case. I'm fucking
This guy
atheist.
needs a hobby. Pastor set him up with FPV.
It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. It's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth.
People want to stay away from him for a little while.
Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? I hope I'm wrong. But it's terrifying.
There you go.
I think he's off his meds.
You think he's off his meds?
Yeah. I don't know.
All
Maybe
right.
Grandeur. He thinks he's in the know, and then he creates things.
Well, I mean, he was in Congress. To be fair,
I've already seen videos
one
of
the
people
guys in
saying
Congress,
that.
talking about the UAPs when they were releasing it. So I don't know.
I'm not in the
That-
know. I'm not in the know
Jeremy,
for the people that's in the
Jeremy
know.
Corbett is the number one guy that all the actual military guys go to and talk to. But I don't know. We'll see.
I guess we'll see in 2027.
Right?
In 2 years.
The date, but I sent you a text. 2027, 2027. They'll probably change it. So it's like,
But I mean, a pastor can relate to this. There's been
I
so
am
many
here
times
for the
like
ride.
Y2K, all this crap about the world's going to end, something terrifying is going to happen, a comet's going to hit, the computers are going to shut down. It's always a date to be something.
Don't forget when back before during Obama's time that if we didn't do something very, very drastically, then Florida would be underwater by the year
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
2025.
it
2012.
was-
snow.
It did snow. I mean, hey, in less than 100 days. I mean, the new administration's already defeated global warming, so that's good.
Yeah.
2012.
Well, there's people that think islands float too, and they don't float.
Only if it's an island and garbage in the ocean.
Right. Well, there's a lot of people actually that think islands are floating in water. So
Yeah.
I have measured the continental drift of the United States, but that's a different story. Back with GPS years and years ago, our whole continent drifts about 4 to 6 inches every year. Back and
So
forth.
not only is gender fluid,
Does the
but
president
so are
have the chip in
continents.
his head? Snow is a form of water, just saying lol.
Z King says snow is just a form of water. Just saying. Double A says, does the president have the chip in his head? I don't know.
speaking of snow, I seen Evan crash his tiny trainer in the snow a bunch of times, and it kept going.
Tiny trainers are like the little ever ready or the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
So is there any news that you can tell us on from the meeting? Any, can you
It's
spill the tea
it
before the
all,
tea gets spilled?
I yeah, I'll be careful. But no, there's not a whole lot of secret stuff. There's a lot of exciting things.
Hmm.
The I think Tiny Whoopers will be pleased. A lot of things that were requested are being very much fulfilled. The best that we can do to still create the IO like event.
Yeah.
But it's
What
going to
meeting?
be hands down better than most years in the past for most Tiny Whoopers. Um,
Guess I'm
we're gonna
out.
be able to
EGH.
Tiny Whoop during the daytime. Um, so that is one big thing that I will leak.
So it's can you say this? Will Tiny Whoop have a tent away from main stage?
Sort of. Not in the way you would think, but it'll definitely there will be two places that Tiny Whoop will be happening. Obviously, not simultaneously, and there is a for sure. Tiny Whoop will have its very own set time after 9 on Friday. That will be Tiny Whoop's and no one else's for their finals. So that I feel excited to just say that it is promised,
It is
and there's
happening.
nothing. There is nothing else even remotely close to taking that away at all. Um, there
Good.
is, I can say, there's not going to be LEDs at this IO. Um, as far as the track is concerned, you can put as many LEDs on your quads as you want to. There will be, I believe, 2
Nice.
tracks for nighttime racing. I know of at least one for sure, but I think there will be 2.
Now you're
Is there a
talking
specific
LEDs.
reason they don't want to do LEDs?
Are you talking LEDs on 5 inch or no
Gate.
LED gates? Period.
Just no LED gates.
Not even in Tiny Whoop.
It's no that's not. So Tiny Whoop is going to be completely under Jesse's domain. So that's who
Okay.
you'll need to really talk to about that
Okay.
flooring idea you had.
Okay.
But yeah, but after this meeting, I know that's who you need to contact. Um, can set up whatever kind of plan or even run it past Jesse. Um, but yeah, I think that this is going to be an epic IO, and there are 40 like ticket sales
So no night
above where we
flying
were.
besides Tiny W
So
Hoop.
we're gonna like maybe hit the same numbers we did in 2019. 2019 was a really good year, right before the big crash.
Can
But
I ask a couple questions?
shoot,
Prospect. Will Prospect be an IO?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Prospect. There's a lot of love for all the 7 inches. So this is still very much in the rough draft of the schedule, but there will be a place to race any 7 inch with an RPM limiter, and that seems to be one of the only. There's a time slot for any 7 inch with a RPM limiter that's set to a certain RPM limit.
Your chroma key is taking over your face, by the way.
Yeah.
Good. I try to get this thing, the background away, but I keep like shrinking. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Bagzilla asks. He said, "So there'll be no night flying besides Tiny Whoops."
incorrect. There will be night flying. I believe that there will be racing.
Prospect will be one, right?
Do what?
Prospect will be one, right?
I believe so. And most of the championships for each like bracket are going to be run at night. Um, it'll be a really cool setup. And it's kind of the goal that 2023 was, or 2022. I can't remember which year we had all the same, or we had the track blueprint and we swapped around a few things here and there. It's going to be that goal reimagined, but we're not doing the whole like same track thing. And there's going to be a few track swaps throughout the week that'll need volunteers to help me just like changing a track over. I think there's about 5 track swaps where we'll take the existing track and change it into something else at that same spot.
And did I hear correctly that you said that there will possibly or literally be 2 TinyWhoop tracks or 2 places to fly TinyWhoops?
That is the plan.
Okay.
The plan that seems like the one that is the, barring any things that can happen before an event, that is the ultimate plan, is that there's going to be a certain place where you're probably going to do all of the qualifying, and then there will be a different place where you can fly after the championships are done at main stage. Then it will open up the TinyWhoop track or Lady Luck to just be whatever it wants to be, except for Friday night. And that's when the finals will be at Lady Luck.
Last year
Okay,
was
now
my
what
first
about
IO,
spec
and I will
racing?
never miss another.
We got UDL spec, we've got Freedom spec, and
So
we've
UDL
got
will still fall underneath the TinyWhoop genre, and so that still hasn't been panned out. Like we've got we've got the venue situation figured out with where the whoops are going to be flying.
okay.
But there are a few people in the mix that will figure out how the UDLs and 65s will mix. I can tell you there's a new member I just learned about that started a week ago on the multi-GP team that is 100% on board with seeing TinyWhoop succeed. So
That's cool.
I don't really want to like announce who that is, but he's I don't know. I bet he's about 47 years old. Anyway, I won't confirm or deny.
Is he kind of tall?
I don't know. He's not actually 47. That's just the number. But anyway, don't say it out loud.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, but he is a very big part of the TinyWhoop community, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. Apparently, he's already got something going in Arizona with the college. It might be Arizona State.
So we're seeing more of TinyWhoop and MultiGP coming together this year.
I mean,
Organizationally?
The dream is always that they collaborate extremely well together. Now, TinyWhoop is, of course, Jesse Perkins. He is Mr. TinyWhoop. He controls everything, trademark TinyWhoop. And
Say that again, Phil TW6 Heat, you said.
MultiGP
AK.
Owned and created by Chris Thomas. And so you have 2 heads of amazing companies and organizations. And they can coexist and cohabitate and breathe life into each other, because the biggest draw or the biggest push into 5-inch are from TinyWhoop racers.
Yeah.
Now, what about Tiny Trainer?
Tiny Trainer, that I don't know if that's going to. There is a specific spec track.
Okay.
And there are plans to make that into. There's freedom with the person that's heading up the spec kind of series stuff. So there's obviously a big emphasis on the pro spec. And I was told that there's going to be pro spec frames available there to buy.
Yeah, we should have the 533 shop there.
Right, and
So
there's been a great communication between Armando and MultiGP,
yeah,
and so it seems like it's a really good thing for both. Um,
I think we'll be doing some on-site building too.
so that are you talking about 533 or everyone?
Oh, about the build off?
There's going to be that is in the works. So there's going to be a separate ticket or a separate pay to play because you get something to build and you fly. So it's
Do
going to
we
be
have a cost on that?
no, no. There's
Because
services that
from what I understand, well, I'll let you explain it, but you're buying a whole drone though, right?
yeah, you're buying everything to make a drone fly, and part of that is that multi GP can work out a very like good deal with who's providing those specific parts. So say Emax provides the motors, well, we can ask for even below our multi GP. It's not me. I'm not in sales or acquisition, but you could say, "Hey, Emax, will you sponsor this event and provide a very good discount on your motors that's even below cost because you're taking part of what they're
It's a
bringing to the table."
sponsorship.
Damn, I got to
It's
squeeze
sponsorship,
7
and that's
inches
how they've been
quads in
doing
my
it with
luggage now
props
too.
at these
It's
prospect
fine, I'll
races, is
figure
that
it
they're
out.
selling sponsorship, so that prop will be the only one that's flown there, and then people start to like that item, and then they buy more of that item. I mean, I did that with motors for a while. I don't know if you remember 3B Hobby, but I bought one 3B Hobby, and then they gave me a discount on something, and I bought like 4 sets more. I've got tons of 533 motors just because I knew Evan and I knew like kind of how he ran his business, and it's Armando too. But I've always like stood behind their product.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Now,
when you have a little faith in the product, you like
Yeah.
are willing to buy. If you get one for free, then it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so hopefully the cost for that quad that you're going to build will be extremely low.
now it's just a drone, right? Not a controller or anything like that. It's just
No,
a
no,
drone,
no,
right?
no, no, no. Just a controller. I don't know.
Just a
Now
drone.
this is a challenge though, isn't it?
Challenge, yeah. So it's gonna be you're building it and then the first to like 3 laps or something.
Yeah.
So, but it will be. It's gonna be a little odd because I can already see like things that would hinder a fair race, of a build off and race. So because honestly, if you have like 80 pilots that all have soldering irons like on at one time, you're not gonna be able to pull that power from like 2 generators. You're gonna have to have like 5 generators
Yeah.
to pull that
Well,
power.
you would have to do like a time thing, wouldn't you? You'd have to base it off time, right?
Yeah, and that's something that hadn't even been brought up in the meetings is like the barriers to this, or at least not in the meetings I've been in. I'm sure it's been brought up in other meetings, but that's an exciting thing that's going to happen, and I'm sure they're still looking at part suppliers, sponsors, because I mean,
Now, let me ask you something. You know, I'm really good at building, right? So, and I'm
you
super,
disqualified?
huh? In
Are
the
you?
must qualify. I'm super fast too, like really fast.
That's what she said.
Now, what I can I can literally take a frame bottom and put it on a dang ESC and flight control with a camera and take off. Like, are we talking about this must look like a complete drone,
Yeah,
or it
there will be.
doesn't matter as long as it flies and goes around the track?
Probably the kit's got to be completed.
Because I can do some dirty stuff.
No, I know. I think that that's a very good question and something I'll bring up with Mark, Two Dog RC, who is the events director.
Yeah.
So everything is under his umbrella as far as each little event and the major event. That's something definitely I'll talk to him about, and I can say from a safety standpoint, from my viewpoint alone, that all the parts must be used. It would be a good
Okay.
coverall.
Yeah.
Used as intended is probably something that we'll put in some literature.
I think
Obviously, we probably need a
you
waiver.
also need to dictate on what size the drone is.
Right. No, it'll be the kit. The kit will be all encompassing of what it is and what you
Oh,
are going to fly.
Everybody's
it's
going
not
to build
gonna-
the same thing. Yeah.
Right. You can't bring like stuff that's got MR30s on it and like say it's done, you know.
right,
Right.
right.
So anyway, or that could be something that we plan out that you can easily put it together that fast because you know if you have MR30 motors and they already make MR30 ESCs, you could literally create a drone in about 5 minutes. It depends on how fast you can screw in a motor screw or put on props, like because plugging in is so easy.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
then
have an idea. So you could maybe express this idea since you're maybe worried about the different numbers and stuff like that. And there might be some people that are on a budget or whatever. You could do a Whoop 3-inch and a 5-inch build off. I mean, that's just an idea. I know you probably want to
It's
base
probably,
them all around the same or whatever.
I'd probably say their first year, they're probably going to try to keep it to
5-inch.
one.
5 inch is in multi GP. That's probably what it's going to be. Now I can see definite reason that 3 inch would be compelling, but you can pretty much build a 5 inch for about the same cost as a 3 inch. Especially if you look at it from a component standpoint, we could even get in an AIO that's running on 6S. You know, you
Right,
just plug in a video system and
right.
controlling. So, and then that's another thing that is unsure is like video system, because I mean, 80% I would say of IO racers are racing on HDzero, and then the other 20% are talking to Carl about a free set of goggles, right? So. Uh, But everyone knows that HDzero is the best for racing right now.
Yeah.
Um,
If you got to buy the high ones for $700, then you don't need to even think about asking to buy or a free set of goggles, really.
right.
Yeah.
So I am wondering if the HDzero um, like economy version will be available before IO. And I know that there was a sale on the little video screen for only $125, which I know that it's flyable. You can at least do TinyWhoop with that screen because I did it at the church when me and Pastor hung out
Yep.
a little bit. So the latency is not great, but it's not terrible
It's
for
got an HDMI also.
right. You need something that would be able to spit out that
The,
image quick.
this is, I'm speaking in no way official about anything because I have no information. Just some talk that makes me think that they may be, the eco goggle may be available around that time.
Oh, so I mean, I guess if Carl comes to IO, then he'll probably bring a few sets. I know that the screen sold out in like half an hour
Well,
when he brought
yeah.
me or something.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right? The screen's freaking awesome.
I think I can
Mhm.
safely say this. It would be really good business for HDzero to have this if they can before IO.
I mean, honestly, before the outdoor season starts is always a great time for anything FPV.
Yeah.
Especially if it's usable outdoors.
Yeah.
Now HDzero, I guess, is hitting hard on whoops, and that's amazing. You know, you haven't really seen much more come out. Like a Race V3 is solid. Like it's crazy how good it is, especially with heat. We had them at Sharjah.
I got a screen
They
from
were
Carl
sitting
at
on
IO
blocks,
last
and I'm
year.
talking
I
the
watched
sunlight
finals on
and
the thing, it
100
was
degree heat.
awesome.
They were just powered on. We bumped up to 200 milliwatts in Sharjah just to make sure that we had good penetration in the back area around those big steel girders. But
Yeah.
It was not a problem for those, and I only saw, the very fine speckle, but everything extremely flyable. And I mean, like, it is just amazing the robustness that's come in just a couple years.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
if you look at the Eco, you can. I don't know if you've put an Eco on a 5 inch, but I have, and an Eco on a 5 inch is like almost bulletproof. And
and
I know
and
people say, "Oh, the quality of the Eco or whatever." I think it's good enough quality to be better than analog for sure.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
what
There's not.
if HDzero got into making its own flight controllers and stuff? Then
Well, so I
then
talked to Carl and Ryan about that at IO this past year. About, hey, this is what I want, and if you
Wow,
created it,
4 pilots
you
up
would
all 200
essentially be in every
MW on
5 inch
HDzero
racer.
V3.
You have
Love it.
a MPU 6000, an ELRS um, receiver, and then the ecosystem running at 90. And that's it. You win drone racing. You will be everyone's flight controller. And I told him this, and I don't know if it got lost in the issues, but I even asked Ryan if it's possible to take the all-in-one for the Whoop and remap some UARTs to motor outs, and then you could motor out to an ESC. So then you would have a flight controller with everything I just said minus the 90 FPS. So if you were able to tell the flight controller you're using this UART instead of this ESC, then you would have to access, I guess, voltage regulate to the ESC also. But yeah. Anyway, I had asked them, like, hey, if you made a flight controller without the ESCs, because you figured out hard parts, you can go back a few steps and just do flight controller with control and video link, and you win drone racing.
Yeah.
well, let me say this, and I said this the other day on the Discord. The Eco was a step that came out as a product of shooting for another goal. So,
Okay.
So just keep your eyes open.
So do you think that 90 FPS is possible on Eco?
No.
You don't think so?
Not at that resolution.
Eco resolution, I thought that was 540.
Well, probably not with the Lux, because you can, you could plug the Lux into the Eco, and now I think it's more probable to happen on the AIO, the 5-in-1, or
So
I think
So
it's
the
something that
other-
may be coming soon, or I don't know.
the other step is making a 6S AIO with 90 FPS. And that's the only two changes you would need to make to their current thing. And it can be heavy, but if it's able to do 6S, then I think
Well,
it would be a good matchup for
now-
the new
now-
530.
I
now
can't
listen,
say anything because I can't say anything because I already know what they got out.
Well, let me say something, because I don't know fully. I know that it would be a good business. It would be great. What you said, they would own racing if they had an AIO with HDzero and Express LRS. But there may be a process in between that. I would be surprised to see anything like that happen before IO. But there may be a process in between that to where, like what you said, instead of having the ESCs on the board, pull those FETs off and give UARTs to run to hook to an ESC, and then you would technically have a flight controller. But that's just me. I don't have it. There's no secret knowledge here. Don't guys be running and saying Pastor Marty's saying that. The
When
thing
I
that I
talked to
know
Ryan,
about doesn't have to
it
do
had
with flight
never
controllers. What's that?
when I talked to Ryan about it, Ryan Qualit, about it at IO, it seemed like it never occurred to him that you essentially have a flight controller with whatever one wants, and you just
Right.
need a beefy ESC
Mm-hmm.
to mate it up to. And if you add on 90 FPS, then you win drone racing.
And
You'll be like the old TBS Unify.
And
Everyone ran a
Yeah.
TBS Unify.
And if
Like,
you make it
it's just-
pluggable the same way, to ESCs or whatever, or plug straight into a HDzero
If you made it
or
universal-
DJI or Walk Snail VTX, if it was all pluggable, that would probably be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, the more options you have,
Or I don't know, racers might
The-
not like that. The racers may pull the plug, may pull the thing off and want to solder it to be lighter. I don't know, but
not if it's like an ESC ribbon. If it's like a ribbon, then no.
right,
And
as long as it's not a
no,
MIPI ribbon, yeah.
Yeah, so when you're building an absolute racing Haas build, you're looking for every gram. And honestly, solder points take up more weight than those traditional ESC plugs. So, and all the video system plugs. So you're going to use more weight in solder than you would that plastic.
Now aren't they starting to get where Walk Snail, DJI, and HDzero are all same pinout on plugs?
I think it seems as though, and maybe you just need to change one or two pins. But usually a flight controller will have different schematics, right? Everyone I've opened up lately, they'll show you what to use for DJI, they'll show you what to use for HDzero or analog.
So I can say this: they are HDzero is moving towards the way where it's more compatible.
When do you
in
guys
that
think
way.
we will see the tariffs hit our FPV hobby components?
So whenever you get Race V3, right now it's backwards than a DJI. Well, I think in the future it's not going to be backwards. So
Yeah.
I can't
DJI
say
will change.
no. We all wish DJI would change, but
American owned.
unfortunately, there's more plug outs like Walk Snail that are conforming to a DJI style pinout.
Now I'm going to make a comment, and I'm
So-
going to read Bagzilla's question. Someone told
So
me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if you buy a brand new Race V3, it's in a different pinout configuration now.
Hopefully that's on the website. That it
See,
shows which one is which.
I can neither confirm nor deny this, guys, but someone told me that Cletus McFarland is going to open up a manufacturing center in the southeast making IJD drones.
Mike, what?
Making IJD drones.
Oh. Why are you saying it backwards?
All right. Bagzilla's question says, when do you guys think we will see the tariffs hit our FPV hobby components?
Now.
I think we already have.
10% hitting it right now.
Yep. I think anything that's here already, snatch it up if you're thinking about buying it.
Yeah,
because
if your components right now are the same price, you might want to go ahead
and isn't it
and
25 for China?
get get some extras or something like that.
There's only 10.
No, it's 10%.
That's only 10. Okay.
So it's not terrible.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, you have any questions about IO? I gotta run
Yeah.
pretty soon.
I do, and I don't know. This can be from you, Phil, or for the community. Where is the good hotel in Muncie? I stayed
stay
in
on
Anderson. So people, I think
I
people were telling me there's a Motel 8 or something like that. That's actually those are not usually pretty good, but they said it is. I need to know that.
Armando stayed at a motel.
I need to know
I
that.
stay. I literally sleep in my Forerunner. I tried the tent thing. But it would always collapse. My tent. Muncie just will get a downpour and winds of 60 miles an hour, and it's crazy. And every time I
Fun
went with an easy
underscore
up,
per
it was
underscore volt
destroyed, and then my
underscore
tent would always
FPV.
collapse, and it would always
FPV
be
is a
wet or
religion.
cold or
In
hot.
thrust
And
we
so
trust.
the Forerunner is what I did for like travel nursing, and that's what I
Phil, can we
do
order
for
the same
IO now.
weather
It's
as
simple. I
last
just have a
year for
bed,
IO?
and wherever I fall asleep, that's where I'm at. I'll
I
wake up
tell you,
and roll out.
Fun for
I tell you, I would really like to see Tiny Trainer rather than Freedom Spec, in my opinion.
I would talk to Sean Ames. I know he's very much, he's still very much in and a part of MultiGP. I guess just stepped down from that lead role, but I would still talk to him about.
And I bet you anything, we could probably get a very, very good budget V1 Tiny Trainer to be built on site very easily. Very easily.
Yeah, I can't remember who's trying to make that happen. Mark Two Dog, Mark Growy knows and is controlling that. Whoever he's meeting with for that project. But I would definitely reach out to both of them to see about what you can do with tiny trainers. I mean, I have
More people
two
can
right next to
convert
me.
their
I mean, I
5
love
to
them.
freedom spec
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. I need
So
you
it's
to I need you to send me his contact information if you can, Phil. I still want to talk to him. Fun per volt says Mark Gross.
Growy.
Yeah.
I think I shared him with you on Discord and Facebook. Here,
Oh,
I'll
you
try
did?
it again.
Okay. I don't check
think
Facebook that much, but I'll look.
Bagzilla says more people can convert their 5-inch to Freedom Spec though.
Yeah. Fun per vote says that FPV is a religion and thrust we trust. And Bagzilla asked this question: Phil, can we order the same weather as last year for IO?
Yeah, minus the storm that came in that ruined the Sharjah experience.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It freaking
Speaking of
blew
people's
all
tents,
kinds of tents off
yeah,
and stuff.
there was a pile of
Yeah.
canopies that morning.
So honestly, it's hit or miss. Every year except for 1 year, the weather was amazing, and 1 year the weather was really bad on Saturday. So it's just, it is what it is. The good thing about it is if it does rain, and then nice weather comes afterward, then it dries really quickly. Like you don't really worry about the water on the grass at all. Past like 10 a.m. After 10 a.m. the dew is gone. You can race before then, but there's a lot of dew on the gates and the grass.
When is all the stuff going to go out to the volunteers and stuff, Phil?
Like volunteer appreciation.
No. Like volunteer.
Oh, schedule.
Yeah.
So we're still narrowing down the actual schedule of the event, and then I've already got
China tariff is now
a couple guys that I
35%.
know are going to be there, but we'll start recruiting for volunteers pretty soon as to what you want to do, when you'll get there, if you want to be a part of build, track changes, or track maintenance, if you want to lead a track. We have most of the tracks are led by people that are at least at my level or above. Because I'm not part of the totem pole you see. I'm part of the totem pole they bury. So
Right.
it's anyway. So most people are at least above ground, and they're going to be running tracks. And it
25%
looks
from
like a really
2018,
solid
10%
group, and they're going to
today.
be running tracks. And that's always good for IO because sometimes there's no one to run the track, and then somebody steps up. It's always great to see somebody step up, but you don't want somebody to sacrifice their IO experience or what they expected to do.
Right.
No one expects to run a track all day, and that is fun occasionally, but you don't want to like be expected to like ruin a day of flying, or a lot of people can't do both fly and run a track, but then there are some people that can.
Yeah.
Um,
Fun for Volt
so
says that the China tariffs is now 35%. It was 25% from 2018 and 10% more today. So the total is total is 35% tariff on China's stuff. Yeah, I just got something from you on the Spacebook, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So, but again, for the I guess AstroTurf, you'll want to go just to Jesse about
Okay.
that
Oh, okay.
because more uh, will handle semi handle the having a tent, and
Mm-hmm.
then Jesse handles what goes in the tent. So, and then we do have a Lady Luck bar that we just reassemble and put in there.
What?
So, or
Now,
Lady Luck
now, is there going to be
place.
anything special about the TinyWhoop tent?
Well, it'll be a special place to hang out. And with it being where it is, we are looking at also it cutting down on the other problem that, of course, a lot of people mentioned, and you, of course, mentioned. So hopefully, it's
Would it be air
placement and
conditioned?
no, we're not. We didn't get that bougie of a tent company. Apparently, there are bougie tent companies that do that, but the tent company that they are hiring out isn't that bougie. So, but no, but you won't really have to worry about that. Nighttime hangout, it's going to be comfortable, and it's going to be the perfect viewing opportunity for all of the championships or the finals of every like different bracket or group. So it's gonna be really fun. I think that it's gonna take a probably more. I don't know. I always think it's gonna be more work this year, but won't know until I know what the tracks actually look like. Because sometimes, some years, there's a lot of elements or a lot of unique elements to a track. Now, a single or a double is so easy to build, and we do all the building at the shipping container that's centralized. We build out all the elements and then we distribute them. And it's a method of like gotten really down pat. It works to get all the tracks up by start of IO on Wednesday morning, and
I
that's a
tell
goal.
you that you got me really wanting to just buy a ticket myself
Well,
and just just drive out there myself and do everything. But
dude, it's really fun. So that's what I did my first year, and I've never looked back. Like I signed up as a part-time volunteer, and then I found myself just wanting to do more, and
yeah,
then that's just how it was. And then, hey, Phil,
I
why are you
can
buying your
T
ticket?
freaking wait for IO
It
this
was like
year.
you don't need to buy your ticket, and I was like, okay. And then, but I do put in more than like I can't remember how many hours they're asking for a minimum. But there's a lot of people that go beyond the hours that they commit to, and then there's people that are like, no, 4 o'clock, I'm done. I gave my 16 hours this week, and then I'm going on to race. Like I'm done volunteering. It's like, okay, thanks for your help. And then I do appreciate it, and I'm not asking anyone to go beyond
they
what.
hardly asked me to do anything,
Well,
which
hey,
I guess I got lucky by that happening. I don't know, but I mean, there was some stuff that I had to do, and it was weird stuff, but this year, not weird stuff. I'm just saying, just like drive a golf cart here, and
Oh, yeah.
you know,
So
uh,
if you want the full like IO beginning to start and just to see how an event starts from literally everything in a container and then the event happens and then everything just goes right back into the container, then it's a Saturday to Monday thing.
yeah,
So you are there Saturday morning to begin. So I'll be driving probably late Friday night and being able to like sleep. Uh, I hope to get at least 6 hours of sleep. But I literally drive right to the container and I just go to sleep like at 2 a.m. And then I wake up at 8 and then I'm ready to go. Now, there was this past year, um, Mark Silva and Chris Thomas got there on Friday morning and set up a build tent. And so we were able to build underneath the tent. And so we had shade, wasn't really worried about the sun. No
I
one
have
really
done
got
8 years
sunburnt.
worth.
If like you just were watching yourself, like it was great. Um, so if you want the full IO experience and you're willing to help, whenever needed, then we can definitely talk about like a free volunteer ticket, like
yeah.
a
Well,
full time.
I done the free volunteer ticket last time, and then 533 kept on, pulling me back in and saying, "Hey, do this. Hey, do that." And I'm like, "Okay."
Then I guess I
And
need to talk to somebody about charging you a full ticket price. No, I'm joking. No, but
but no,
anyway,
I don't know. I think maybe they are going to try to have me help or work
yeah,
out something part time with 533 and make it to where they don't pay me to run the stuff, but I get to have more freedom, type deal.
yeah, and of course you're always welcome on the build team.
Yeah.
Um, and we are essentially going quads to the wall until Tuesday night. Sometimes we're good after about. My goal is always 6 p.m. on Tuesday night for finished build, because I would love to have like just a night where volunteers can just fly on a track and then even at nighttime if we want to, but traditionally go out to like Texas Roadhouse and get treated to a nice meal, um, because of all the work you put in. And then so Tuesday is done and the build team has already been building for 4 days, um, and then it's like, okay, let's run this event. And then we get to really have the fun, like running a track or even just racing or just shoot, I'd drive my go kart around and then just hang out with people or see how somebody's doing or if they're having a good week, you know. Because
I,
I want people to have a good time. I'm trying to be less of a people pleaser. I like to see everyone enjoy their time though.
yeah,
Um, but
I
yeah,
get real distracted about your half bald head sometimes.
it's
So
I
it's
didn't I'll fix it before the next time. This barn is still there,
it
and like if you ever come and
Phil's
race to
got
my
like
house,
luscious locks, and but it's like it's shaved on this
a lot.
side.
Yeah, but anyway, any other questions that you think I might answer?
No, but thank you very much for coming on and telling us about IO and stuff.
Yeah,
Should
y'all
Yeah,
go first.
I am
should if
so
someone's
excited
wanting
to go.
if someone is wanting to volunteer for TinyWhoop, should they talk to Jesse before they fill out a volunteer application?
Uh, you can do both at the same time. It's not um that kind of thing. And honestly, if it would probably be a free or a full time ticket, depending on what you're doing. But Jesse's definitely gonna need people. Um, like
More than last year, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know.
All right.
Qualifying, you'll need less people, but Lady Luck more people. I don't know.
All right. Well,
It,
I
it,
need to
it
talk
gets
to him
involved.
anyway about
Oh, is
some
Lady Luck
things.
going to be open all day or something? No.
Lady Luck is nighttime, and I'm
I
really
hope
thinking it's just
everyone
gonna look
enjoys
like every other
I.O.
year,
It is a
but
life-changing
now
event.
there will be racing during the day.
Are they going to be stricter with Lady Luck?
The hopes are that its placement next to main stage during finals will make it to where it's not as wild, and hopefully uh, there's going to be a big crackdown on what's available at Lady Luck, and obviously things that should not just be openly distributed, should not be openly distributed.
Greatest
And
spectacle in
no one wants to
FPV.
be the heavy.
It truly
but,
is.
Like, I mean, I will openly say something if I see something that's not appropriate for whoever is around.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that
and
could get multi GP thrown out of there,
yeah,
off the venue.
it could be. Yeah, it would be a very bad ending to a story.
Yeah.
We don't want to see a bad ending to any story.
No.
Right.
And if you see something, and you can always mention it to somebody and say, "Hey, that's not really the place for that here," and you know how to approach people that don't know where a limit should be.
Yeah.
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 They need to stop doing, like, then just say, "Hey, let's go hang out over here and watch this for a moment and just chill." I even did that at Champs. Anyway, I don't. You weren't. Anyway, I'm not gonna say it. But I saved a couple pilots from getting in too deep at the Dubicki House. That was the name of that party, the Dubicki House. But anyway.
Yeah, I heard all about it.
Oh yeah, no. I guess Carter probably told you.
Yeah.
Carter was like listening close. I guess worried what I was gonna say. I'm like, dude, I'm a nurse. This guy is gonna be safe with me. But I know he was worried about him. But anyway, if that's it, guys, I gotta work tomorrow. It's already 10.
All right, brother. I thank you for coming on and giving us the down low.
Yeah, I'll meet you in the air later.
Yeah. Well, that was Philiblaster. He's like a fart in the wind. He's here 1 minute and gone the next. So,
Well, I don't know. That part smelled good. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
That was some good news.
Like
right
nothing
there.
gets out of hand at I.O.
No, nothing.
Not a fart spiller, but
not a fart
That
judger.
That was fun.
Not a fart
I'd
judger.
rather
Yeah.
be a smart feller rather than a fart smeller.
Yeah, that's it. That's the better way. Yeah, that was fun. It was fun, yeah, and
IDK.
Double A's been volunteer for 118 years. Double A, you live close to there, don't you? If I want to try to talk to Jesse, I may be able to get a hold of some AstroTurf to put down in the TinyWhoop tent. But if I can't get my hands on that, we need someone around that area with a push mower that will be willing to bring a push mower in there before it's set up and just cut that grass down as low as it can be cut.
What do you think about just getting some tarps from freaking from
2H
Harbor Freight?
gores from.
Like you can get giant tarps from Harbor
Ours.
Freight for pretty cheap and
Yeah.
stake them down. And it
Tarps
won't
would
hurt the
definitely
grass.
tarps definitely would be cheaper than the AstroTurf, but the AstroTurf will be able to be used from year to year to year. So I'm still going to check on that.
Yeah, well, the reason why I said tarps is because it's so much easier to actually handle and load it. I don't mind having 10 tarps in my truck rather than
because this stuff's in a roll. I'd have to pull it with a trailer and stuff with my Jeep.
You definitely would.
Yeah, so that would the
And it's
tarp
gonna cost
situation.
money if they're going from Tennessee to Indiana.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, all right. Well, Skip, if you don't have anything else, I think we'll wrap this thing up tonight.
Yeah, wrap it up.
I was going to do the programming of this UWL to Igniter, but I'm going to hold off on that. Z King was wanting to know how to do it, and he obviously something come up when he got home or whatever. So we're not going to do that tonight, but I'll change the thumbnail later to be more accurate about what we talked about. So yeah, Skip, I appreciate it, brother.
We're gonna be drone racing, so on Velocidrone. So if anybody wants to join the channel and fly with us, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, let me get a invitation in the chat. The Discord is free to everybody.
https://discord.gg/inrywpjmic.
PJmic. So, all right. Well, throw it there on the screen also. Join the Discord if you will. You're welcome to come on, log on, even with your buddies, and have races. We've got several little lobbies in there that you can do the video or the audio thing, share like what we're doing here, and everyone is welcome. Skip's got a race this Saturday, and Clinton, or 533 does. The week after that, North Carolina has a race, correct?
Yep.
And then the week after that, Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky has a race on the 22nd. And then I think closer to the end of the month, you guys are going to have near the end of March, right? You guys will have another race, which is going to be the one that was snowed out. And we'll have one on the 15th. So stay posted and join us. If you guys have not smashed that like button yet, please smash it. It helps. It's like kind of leaving a tip for us. And if you like the content, subscribe. And if there's things that you want us to talk about, let's see. You could just put it in the general on the Discord.
Thanks, guys. Might hop on sim with you in a few.
All right, Johnny Scars will hop on and kick my butt on the simulator in a few, but so yeah, we're not.
Yep.
Even though here in Middle Tennessee, the cold that was really rampant has rolled out and all of that, but it's still whoop season. Whoop season's not over yet. And for me, it's whoop season all year. So I like whooping tiny trainers all year. You're going to have to bring her with you and just let me bring her home with me. You think she'd come home with me?
You can kick my butt IRL if you come to the race Saturday, lol.
I'm going to try, Johnny. I'm going to try. I've got my Jeep is in the shop, and it just depends on how much I can get it fixed or not. So I'm going to try. So you don't think she would come home with me, Skip?
She's real friendly. She probably would.
Hop in the truck with anybody if they had a hot dog.
She don't eat from people.
Oh yeah, well that's good.
She's not somebody that she would like. You put her food down, she'll sit there and wait until you tell her that she can have it.
Well, that's good. That's better behaved than most kids. All right. Well, we're gonna end with some video of Yoda. Is that what you called her?
Yeah, Yoda.
Yoda, and because she's got Yoda ears. And thanks a lot, Skip. Appreciate it. Join us for Thursday night, hang time, just in 2 days. Same time, well, 7 o'clock, same place. Take care, guys. Take care, Skip. Appreciate it, buddy.
See ya.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap it all up with that. Thanks to everybody. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the membership. Membership and super chats keep us afloat here. Helps buy stuff for these races. And if you think you might want to be join and be a member, it's right down there in the
Thanks,
description
boys.
how to do it. And if you don't, that's fine. We still love you. Just give it a thumbs up. And if you hated it, just give it a thumbs down. That still helps us. So Bags, hopefully, Lord willing, I'll see you at I.O. again this year. So already starting to make my plans for that. So, all right, everybody, thank you. We're going to wrap it all up. Remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, to keep flying and rise up and meet me in the air.